This conference will now be recorded.
All right, welcome everybody to the webinar. John, are you unmuted?
I am now, yes.
Perfect, awesome. Okay, great. So I can see you. Can you see me, the one picture? Okay, so I learned, I had a little bit of a tutorial this week to try to make it so it wasn't quite so awkward in the beginning, and I apologize for last week, but it looks like we got a much better start going on today. And the purpose of this call is to every day kind of address the questions that are coming up from all y'all, since you're in Southern group mostly, and just be real time about it. So I know that on RX Nation, there's been a number of questions that I've been able to answer as you know, as they come up, but this is an opportunity, this call. So we've got some questions that have come up during the week, and we're going to just address them one by one. And then tomorrow we'll do the same thing. So we're not going to open it up for questions verbally because that can be a little bit challenging. I am going to lock the meeting at this point. Since it is being recorded, we can transfer it to somebody. This is for security purposes. So the meeting is now locked. Let me start from the start. And John, you can chime in with any of these. This isn't like a, you know, this is more like the home improvement show. So you and I are the Tim and Al, okay? The first one is, what's my ID number? Most of you should have received, well, you all should have received an email that was sent out on June 3rd. If you did not receive it, first thing I want you to do is check your junk file to make sure it didn't go to the junk file, because there is a chance that it could have gone there. And that would be the first thing to check. If for some reason you still do not see that, then contact Andrew in the Limu call center, and he'll be able to give you that information. We'll be able to get you up to speed so that you can find out what your ID number is, and you will be able to handle that. Okay, so that's question number one, and many people have found it within their junk files. So sometimes when you have a new server that it gets sent from, that's what happens. I know it's happened to me multiple times. So just check your junk file, and if it's not there, call customer service, Andrew first, and then if not, then you can call anyone in our Utah office and they will be able to help you with that as well. Okay, how do I enroll somebody is the second question. Well, log into your X office, click on New Rep or New Customer icon. It's as simple as that. That is the process for enrollment. And you as the sponsor can do that for anyone. And now that's in your back office. So again, log into your X office. That is the back office of RX. It's called the X office. And once you have your ID number, you can go in there and it will ask to reset your password, and you can do that. And then if you want to enroll somebody, just click on New Rep or New Customer, and you'll be able to enroll. It really is as simple as that. And again, and I'm saying this a lot on this call, you have Omar, who heads up our Utah call center, and Andrew from the Limu Florida office. I'm not going to say Limu anymore, I apologize. The Florida office, and the same number that you've been calling, and you guys can connect with either of those two or their teams. I know Ruth is a big help in the Florida office as well, and many others. I'm probably leaving someone out. I totally apologize for that. Okay. The third question is, why isn't there a replicated site to choose from in the RX X office other than the I Am Limu site? So John, you are the social media expert, and I would love nothing more than for you to be the one to answer this.
Okay, so as you guys know, there are a variety of different replicated sites that you can choose from, and they are all brand specific. So you could have a Nucerity site, or you can have a Purity site. Well, so much of your message as Limu reps over the last 6-8 months has been of this house of brands concept. And so we made efforts to change the Limu site over time to include all of the RX house of brands. So even though it is a Limu-centric site, after it was announced that we merged with RX, we started incorporating brand pages that featured all of the RX brands, all of the RX products. And so in an effort to make that as consistent and streamlined as possible for you, we transitioned the limucompany.com, which your replicated sites have always been a mirror of, to new versions of that. So the business and opportunity stuff has been redirected to the appropriate RX landing pages. The buy now buttons have been redirected to the RX shop, and things like that. So instead of developing a one-off sort of microsite for you to use as your replicated site, which only talks about Limu, we listened that you guys want to talk about the house of brands. So the current site achieves that. The challenge has been in your X office, where you can select the microsite, or I'm sorry, the replicated site that you want to choose to move forward with. That was missing. And so that is being fixed right now as we speak. But just so you know, your current Limu replicated site, the one you've used in the past, has been modified and is still, if you want it to be, your replicated site. You can still conduct business there, you can still direct prospects there, you can still conduct e-commerce there. It is the best solution right now for you to have a site that showcases the entire house of brands. Now, does it lead with Limu? Yes, because it's a Limu site. So the home page is now the product's overview page, but there is a landing page. If you hover over products in the top navigation bar, there's a landing page for Nutrify, for Slender Eyes, for Prime, for Revive, for all of the different RX brands. Now, with that said, we are currently working on a completely revamped digital landscape. What does that mean? All new RX.com, all new replicated sites that will be a mirror of the new RX.com corporate site, an entirely new shopping experience, a new enrollment flow, and new auto delivery manager. So those are 5 different things that kind of make up this massive web project that we're working on that is going to be on a global scale. So this will be in 19 or 20 different languages. There will be some customizable elements to it where you can select the brands you want to lead with. You can select the packs that you want to feature for your prospects to see. That is sort of the big picture to give you kind of a longer range view of where this is all going. Now, we are months out from that rollout. And so for the time being, I would recommend still using your Limu replicated site, and we will work on the back end to make it more visible and clear in your X office that that is your Limu option if that's the route you choose to go down.
John, thank you. Thank you for that and great explanation. I appreciate that. And what I'll probably do is I won't cover this whole list today. I'll just cover the most pressing ones, and because we're going to have this call every day. So I opened the call because Omar wasn't able to get on, and so Omar, if you can give me a heads up when you're on, and then I'll close the meeting again. Again, we're doing this for security purposes, so I apologize to anybody who hears this afterwards that struggled to get on. That's the reason. All of us are very hypersensitive to the hacking that's going on, and there's no platform that's really ultimately 100% safe. So doing the best we can. So I appreciate that, guys. And one of the questions that has come up is, well, let me extend the next one. Says, how do I log into my back office? Well, right now, if you log into your Limu back office, then there will be an icon that says X office. So what you want to do is you want to click on that, and you will be prompted to complete the onboarding process. So you don't have to learn that new system first. You can log into your Limu back office. There's an icon that says X office. Click on that, and it will walk you through the process. So if anybody has any struggles, again, you can always call our call center, and they'll be able to help you through that. One of the questions that came up is, why did the prices increase? And this is, there's not a, and I'm going to preface this with a personality. There's not a magic equation necessarily that's going to help anybody that feels better about why a price increase or why a decrease in volume. Okay, so I'm not here to try to spin you or to create some sort of a you will submit to my way, anything like that. Basically, it's often the case during a merger. You have product prices have to change. There is an element of an equation that is based on cost of goods and manufacturing and distribution, and part of that is a compensation plan. And in order to be able to be compliant with margin requirements within our Activate compensation plan, prices and or PV needs to be adjusted. Now, what we tried to do in all cases is to look at the market, look at your data and what percentage of the people that were buying that product were customers versus reps, and qualifications and everything else. And I want you to know that we took all of that into consideration as we approached any of the price changes. So our Activate compensation plan is one of the most rewarding, one of the most fair and balanced comp plans in the industry. It also pays the highest of any company I've ever seen in the industry, period, bar none. And because of that, you have a different equation related to that. So while that might bring a little bit of discomfort, what we've tried to do is reduce that, especially with your number one item, which is original, and keep that price consistent. And that's why the PV went down, because there was so many customers and were so many people that were not qualified for commissions that were buying that product, that we felt that was the most important part of that equation. So hopefully that made some sense. Again, you're welcome to call any of us and to talk through that. That is an answer that you can communicate to others with, and hopefully that helped to explain a little bit better. Auto delivery. It's one of those things that you came from. If you were receiving a check within LIMU, you knew that you had to place an auto delivery that either was run on the 5th, the 10th, or the 15th of the month. Well, our auto deliveries run every Saturday. And so in order to create a balanced income level for all of you that receive checks, we spread those auto deliveries out over those 4 weeks. And so they're almost even. Where you had one of those auto deliveries, I believe it was the 10th, might have been the 15th. One of those was the highest amount of volume. And where you had weekly and one monthly check, then what was happening was you would see the last 2 weeks of the month be much lighter than the other 3. And in fact, one of the other auto delivery months was lighter than the other 2. So in spreading it out, that created a much more consistent auto delivery schedule. And we've also given you guys a little bit of a grace period. So you weren't going to have one run for you sooner than 4 weeks out from the last auto delivery you had with LIMU. However, it might be 2 weeks after, and we are assuring you that you will remain in commission qualification during that period of time. It's a grace period we're allowing, and you can adjust that. Once your first auto delivery runs, you can go in and adjust that schedule that's perfect for you and say, you know what, this date works better for me, or this date works better. We're divided into color-coded weeks, which is really easy to imagine. So if you came in a blue week, you know that your next auto delivery is going to be at the next blue week schedule. So there's 4 different colors, easy to manage. You can manage that in your back office. And yes, you can change that. However, understanding that you want to have that running every 4 weeks. Also, something that came up today, and I want to let all of you know, your last monthly check for the LIMU monthly would be normally paid here tomorrow, and it should be. I'm just waiting for confirmation. I got a confirmation from the LIMU side that that data will be transferred today. So you should be paid tomorrow or I would say Wednesday at the very latest, for your May monthly check within the LIMU system. I know that question has come up. Okay, so hopefully that addressed the issues in addition to, as far as commissions are concerned with RX. So our pay periods begin at 12:01 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Saturday morning. That's why the auto deliveries run on Saturday, and then at midnight Mountain Standard Time on Friday night. Then the commissions are processed the next week, and you're paid that Friday, that same Friday. So today is Monday. This pay period began this previous Saturday and will end this coming Friday night, and that check will be paid a week from this Friday. Now, we do not have a monthly part of that. So somebody had asked me the other day, what about my weekly plus my monthly? Will it all even out? And the answer is yes, it will all even out, because ours is all paid in the weekly format, not in the monthly format. So where you had kind of 5 different pay periods in a sense, you'll have 4, but it will be the same or greater income. Hopefully that makes sense again. And if you have any questions, just let us know, and we're happy to get to that. That's one of the major ones. One of the main questions, and this is one I'm going to let Omar cover this one, and then we'll maybe address one more and use the rest for tomorrow, because we want to have more than 1 or 2 answers for tomorrow for you. And if you have any other questions, just send them in by email. Send them to any of us and say, will you address this on the Q&A? So Omar, the question that comes up is the 3 for free that Limu had that RX does not have within their system. However, we will award that. So Omar, if you want to give those details, that'd be great. You might need to unmute yourself.
Yep, definitely. Hi, everyone. My name is Omar. I am Director of Partner Support for RX. So we are still going to be honoring the 3 for free. The way that it's going to work is that we are going to add the credit to your e-wallet, okay? Once it's added into your e-wallet, we can then go into your auto delivery, apply it to your auto delivery, and then we will still need a card on file to charge for the shipping and taxes, as well as any remaining balance. Some of you that did have one process over the weekend on Saturday, if you did have the 3 for free, I do apologize if you're upset. We did call out. However, I got in touch with some of you, and I completely understand where you guys are coming from, but some of you are very, very hesitant to give the information because you thought we were fraud. I was the one calling you guys. I did send out emails to most of you as well. And then I did have one of my agents, Crystals, assist with that. So we will be continue calling the remaining auto deliveries that are still eligible for the 3 for free. If you do not want to give us your credit card information, that's completely fine. I wish that X Office was currently working so I can show you how you can do that yourself through X Office. I'll talk you through it. I just can't show you on my screen how it works. So what you do is you go into your auto delivery once it's available. Some can get in, some can't. And when you're in there, you just go through the shopping cart, you click on the shopping cart, and then it'll ask you for a payment. You'll see that you have a balance depending on what you were eligible for. And then you'll click on that balance and it'll ask you to verify the credit card that you want to charge the remaining balance on there. And then you'll just save your auto delivery. The reason why we're calling is because during the merge, some of you guys, when we merge with a company, we're able to bring over all the information, but we're not able to access any personal information. So the credit card merge is over, but us as customer service cannot access the credit card within the auto delivery or the order to save it without your consent, which is why we're calling to get that information again. I do apologize if it's a little inconvenient. We're just doing it for your security purpose, for the security purposes, and for your security and security. So you guys will receive, or we will, I believe I have maybe like 5 or 10 left on my list to add credit for the 3 for free. And then I'll start calling everyone I'll start calling today and tomorrow for those that have the auto ship for week 24, 25, and 26. So if you do get a call from me, I'm not Rod. I'm just trying to get that information. I can walk you through it if you would rather do it on the X Office end once that's up. Or if you prefer and you know that you have the 3 for free, please contact my team and we can do that through our system, and we'll just verify the credit card that you want to charge the remaining balance on. So whatever you guys think is easier for you, we're all ears.
Hey Omar, stick around for just a second because I might have you comment on the next one. But will you give the direct phone number on this? Don't type it in. Maybe say it slowly and then type it in as well.
Yeah, definitely. So our phone number is 1-855-462-7449. Okay, so that was 1-855-462-7449. or you can call the LIMU toll-free number that you are accustomed to. That'll forward directly to the number that I just gave, and you will still be able to reach out Andrew and the Florida team if you would rather talk with them, because you feel more comfortable giving them your credit card information and having them walk you through it, they will be able to help you as well.
Awesome. So this is the one I want you to stay on for. One of the questions that came up, and then we'll conclude today, and we'll address more tomorrow at the same time. So same, for those of you that are old enough to remember this phrase, same bat time, same bat channel. Why am I not showing up as Ultimate or Gold if I qualified at LIMU? Let me explain. First of all, remember there was a promotion during May that if you did certain activities that you would be qualified for Gold and for Ultimate once you transitioned over. Well, keep in mind when the data was transferred to us, you don't have anything called Gold or Ultimate. So that was all more of a manual adjustment. And I believe that most of you now, if you refresh your information, should be updated with that information.
Okay.
Andrew was working on that.
Well,
For
there's
some
that
reason,
Thursday.
hold on one second. Mute everybody again, and Omar, just unmute yourself. So if you do not see that updated for yourself, then call in to that same number. I'm going to repeat it one more time for those of you who said, oh, wait a minute, I didn't have a pencil, and Omar said it twice and I wasn't ready. Hopefully you're ready now. 855-462-7449. Omar, do you have anything to add to that relative to the transferring over of the Ultimate and Gold?
Yes, so my team will be working to do those manually. It's going to be pretty much kind of like a hearsay type of thing. So if you guys are not reflecting Ultimate or Gold, you can always call us or shoot us an email, and we'll work on updating those accounts. If you see that some information is not ported over from LIMU to RX, please always reach out to us, and we'll go ahead and just verify that the information did port over, just so we're on the same page. If I recall, the previous order history and the previous commissions are still accessible through your LIMU website. So that will eventually start porting over, but we're going to keep the LIMU website active so you guys can look at that. Again, just if you want to double check, just give us a call. We'll be working through those as we hear about them. I'll also have our IT team kind of pull a report by the end of the week to see who qualified during the month of May, so that if you don't call, we'll just go in and do it ourselves.
Awesome. Thank you, Omar. And a lot of people have called and they're a little bit anxious, and understandably, when you don't see exactly and you know you've qualified for something or you believe you have, and it isn't immediately translated, there's a fear, there's maybe a lack of confidence or belief. And I want to assure you that a couple of things. Number one, we are going to be running commissions a little bit later this week. It won't affect when you're paid. It's just we're going to wait to run it until Wednesday morning, which we usually do it on Tuesday, to allow us enough time to make these adjustments. We know about 90% or more of the information that was translated over came over across. Everything was great. There were a few exceptions, and we're going to make sure those are right. But even if you were one of those that slipped through that crack, and let's just say, and please don't take it personally, it could even happen to Brent Palmer. And I know Brent's on here, and heaven forbid that it happens to anyone, but let's say it happened to Brent. Well, I can assure you that if he called in on Thursday and said, you know what, my commission doesn't look right, I think we missed out on something. And Omar said, you know what, let me double check. And he looks into it, guess what? He can make adjustment on Friday. So even if something was to happen that we missed it, and I don't believe, there's always going to be those one or two cases, especially where thousands and thousands of people are now translated over to a new system. I just want to give you that assurance that just breathe. I'm a big music guy, and I sang to Brent earlier today, and he said, you should really do that on the call. So there's a song by Steve Wariner, and it's called "Everything Is Gonna Be All Right," and the chorus is, everything is gonna be all right. I can see the future shining bright. Just when things get tough, it's no time to lose heart. Everything's gonna be all right. Guys, we're gonna get through it. There is, our system's been down over the weekend. We know that. Trust me, the owners are just, this is a huge priority. I will tell you that it was not something under our control. It was not something that fell through the cracks on our side. And so we're addressing that, making sure that we do address that. If there's any other questions that are coming up, please text or send an email to Husto, to John, myself, Maki, any of us, Omar, Andrew in the call center. He's collecting those as well. And let us know if there's other questions that are coming up. We have these calls every day, and we'll address whatever issues are coming up. So guys, thank you so much. Everything truly is going to be all right. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Rick, I sent some questions to you in the chat.
Yeah, will you email them to me, Mike?
You got it, boss.
Thanks,
I
man.
get to them before it closes.
Okay.